Hey, I'm Kai, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've got another Gear4Music own brand guitar to unbox today. I've had a lot of messages over the past few years asking me to check out the G4M 638, otherwise known as the Subzero Rogue VI. I reached out to Gear4Music and asked if they'd be able to send me one of these for demo and review purposes, so this is technically a sponsored video. However, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If it's bad, I will say that it's bad. Now, they did tell me that this one may be a B stock as it's just what they had available, but we'll see what we've got to work with before I do any sort of tech work on it. So no more yapping, let's just get into it and unbox it. Okay, so it all looks packaged up properly, so this may not be a B stock. We'll see. So here it is. From what I can tell, this is an A stock model. It's got, everything's factory fresh, still got all the plastic on it, came with all of the accoutrements, so maybe they did just send me a brand new one. One thing I immediately noticed with this is that the string over the bridge is completely dented in, so I'm going to need new strings on this pretty sharp. Seems like it's taken some kind of a knock at some point, but I don't think that's a major issue. It doesn't seem to have any other things going on with it. Giving it a brief once over, there are some extremely minor paint defects, like little knocks and that. There's also little chips around the sort of neck area. Fretwork all seems pretty good though, no sharp edges or anything like that. The frets look really shiny, which is nice. As far as the weight's concerned, it feels like a decent weight. It's maybe a little bit neck heavy. If I let go of it, you can see it sort of begins to dip down, but you can expect that with these really. I won't do a deep dive on the specs of this one, because as with the last Gear4Music guitar I've tried, they're not really that remarkable. It's non-locking tuners, nickel frets, unbranded pickups, unbranded bridge. The only sort of upgraded premium spec on this is going to be the Graphtec nut. Now that is one of the most crucial parts of the guitar to get right, so I am glad that they spent a little bit extra to get that upgraded. As for the woods on this guitar, we've got an older body with a maple neck. The main reason that people go for this guitar is going to be for the 30-inch scale length. This is the length between the bridge and the nut. This is 4.5 inches longer than you'd find on something like a Fender. This means that they're absolutely perfect for down tuning, which I'll get into later on. The stock strings on this one are also beefy. This high string is a 24 gauge, and we go all the way up to an 84 gauge for the low string. These are really optimized for sort of octave down tuning, similar to the Fender Bass 6. Now this G4M 638 is a bit of a dark horse pick amongst the baritone world, but it's been picked up by bands like Loathe as well as Vukovi. It's sort of coming after the gap that the Squier Vintage Modified Baritone Jazzmaster left. This was a 30-inch Jazzmaster that has now gone skyrocketing in price, and they can only be found for about £900 to £1,000. The biggest push for me to try one of these out for myself was seeing Loathe's Guitar Tech do a video on it. I'll leave a link in the description box down below if you'd like to check out that video, because that was really what inspired me to grab this. This G4M 638 comes in at about £199, which is about what you'd expect for these specs most of the time, unless you're going for a brand like Harley Benton, where you'd start to see sort of locking tuners and stainless steel frets. I've just tuned this one up to see what the tuner action is like, because that's something that really bugs me on quite a lot of cheaper guitars. It's when the tuners start slipping and that, but these I can safely say are pretty much perfect. They've got a nice stiff action to it, and I'm really enjoying them. I really like the stock setup of this one. I think this is one of the better G4M guitars that I've tried. It's got a really nice low action, just feels great right out the gate. The neck profile on this is also super comfortable. I've noticed this on both the last two G4M guitars I've tried. Now I gave this a full quality control once over thing, just quickly looking at it, seeing if there's anything I noticed, and nothing really stood out to me as being a problem. I won't do a full tone demo in this video and go through a whole range of tones or anything, because this isn't set up with my preference of string gauges, so I'll save that for a later review. For now though, I've just got it into drop D, which is going to be okay with the 24 to 84 gauge strings, and we'll run through the new ML SoundLab Amped Blackout plugin. In case you weren't aware, Blackout as well as all of our other plugins are currently on sale for 50% off. Yeah, the low string isn't going to be staying in tune because of that little dip dent thing that it's got in it, but I am really liking how this sounds. It's nice and thick, nice and chunky, nice and low. As for the modifications I have planned for it, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I may get a new set of tuners, but these are working great as is, so I'm not too fussed about replacing them anytime soon. I'd like to go for locking tuners just for the convenience, but I'm not that fussed about it. I'll save my opinion on the pickups until I've really spent some time with them through a whole range of different tones, but I'm liking how this sounds through the dirty tone already, so I may stick with these for now. I've got a few different options for the Tune-o-matic bridges in the cupboard, so I may just swap this out just for the sake of it. I think I've got a Goto bridge hanging around that might be quite nice in this. Also, for the deep dive review on this one, I'll probably also give it a full check over with the frets and see if there's anything that needs to be done fret-wise. Either way, I'll be keeping you updated on that in the next video, so be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you can be here when that goes down. I'm planning to put on a set of 15 to 80 gauge strings on this so that I can set it up in drop E. This is what I've currently got my Balaguer Growler in, as well as my Harley Benton Guitar Bass VS, and I really like how this works. So thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is going to be a fun guitar to have around for sure. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this one. If you'd like to check out another one of my videos, there'll be a link on screen for you to check out my other G4M demo that I did recently. That's all for this one though. I've been Kai.